Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rival Bros. We are back. New intro and everything. There's all kinds of production value going on this week. Unbelievable. But we're back as always. I'm your host, Timucin, over here representing Liverpool. I should actually change my background so I can totally represent over here. And with us is the black sheep of the family, but we will not be hitting each other on the head and getting a red card. Is Edip? What's going on?
Well, as can be, we have been missing programs, probably due to the lack of form of Liverpool. Because when
I
we
know you were gonna
started,
say this, but before you even start talking shit and lying on air, because we are live, so don't lie on air. We were supposed to be recording this last week after we
yeah,
recorded the thing for Fenerbahce, and then this guy over here just like disappears, goes off air, and he's like, "Oh, that's right, I gotta get up early in the morning and stuff." And I was like, "Dude, we were gonna do Rival Bros." But then, of course, it's Liverpool's form that's the issue, and not the fact that you guys lost to Everton. But
yes,
10
we
man
have lost to
Everton
Everton,
beating
but
each
but
other, literally.
we have been missing two or three. So we have missed all your 3-0s. We haven't spoken about Nottingham Forest or PSV for that matter. So lucky break for you.
Unfortunately, they were back to back.
Yeah,
That
exactly,
was the
exactly.
problem over there. But
Yeah,
yeah, so we'll start
good
with that
season.
since we've been away for a while. We'll talk about the form. Obviously, Liverpool's form has been kind of shambolic. It was crisis mode. And then the win comes this weekend. We will find out tomorrow. Liverpool plays again tomorrow. Your boys play on Thursday. So we're going to find out if the West Ham game was just a game that we were managed to win, or some things are changing. We do see the lineup changing. We talked a lot about it on yesterday's shows over there. But United's the guy's hair is still alive and kicking
Yeah.
because the streak kind of ended and actually started kind of like staggering down, and then the loss comes obviously as well. This weekend, that was a huge win. That's a really tough away win against Palace. So where are you at with United right now?
Still not convincing play, to be honest. We have won this weekend by I I mean I can explain it as a a lucky break because we know how Zirkzee actually is a player. So it was one in maybe 50 shot from there. A very acute angle.
And honestly, it's more
And
on Henderson. I mean, he's trying to get it on target, but how
yeah,
you concede from that angle is kind of
correct.
pathetic.
That's the other thing as well. But the amount of effort that went into there. I mean, you know about Crystal Palace. Liverpool
Yeah.
knows about Crystal Palace more than any club, especially this season. So it is a huge win. I think it's a huge comeback as well because we were trailing, as you know. But again, when you watch United, I'm not really convinced that we can sort of keep this up, but obviously the minimal signs in the beginning of the season when I was telling you we are not that bad, we are actually playing, um, but we are sort of losing uh, momentum, obviously because we can see that from the guy's hair as well, and plus we are, you get the feeling when I look at the team, you get the feeling that there's some heartbreak there. People who expect to play but cannot play. Mason Mount, for example, I would say if I was Mason Mount, I was very hard done by. He was very good
Yeah.
after he came on. I think he was one of the factors that we turned this game around. But he's not getting enough time. Dorgu is similar to our Irfan Can, who is not playing in his own team Fenerbahce, but playing for the Dorgu, for example, for the Danish national team, blah blah. So there's, you feel some sort of imbalance. I don't know how that is going to be sorted out, but Amorim at least have some wins under his belt. And if you look at it, we only have one goal with the current champions. Only one goal. Everything else is the same. We scored one more goal than you. Uh,
Oh, okay. You mean in the standings? Honestly,
yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing based on our form. I wouldn't be too happy about that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be expecting United to sort of if we again, for example, had a win. West Ham, we are going to see. I think West Ham is a difficult game. It was a difficult game for you too, after coming back after all these losses, and I think it will be a difficult one for us too. But if we win, you'll probably show the table there. We are in the top 5 or 6, sort of. The group that comes after the championship
Yeah.
contenders, I think,
Yeah, I
which
think that's
Liverpool
gonna
is a
be
part of
there. I
that
mean,
group
we're
as
what,
well.
match day 15, right? It's like coming up. I mean, 14 is going on as we speak right now,
Yeah,
middle of the week. But then obviously we're gonna talk a lot about the weekend games because apart from like the games that we have coming up, Liverpool plays tomorrow. Like I said, your guys play Thursday. Okay, so we'll give each other the guy looking from the outside. I almost feel like I find United. Obviously, they're doing a lot better than expected, right?
yeah,
But I felt like the moments it gets hotter, the team kind of folds. Like we had, like Chelsea had a similar thing last year. Like they started the season with zero expectations, and they started like really good. So the moment people start talking about, you know, I mean, obviously, title race or the title winner and stuff never came up with United, except for I think 1 week everybody got excited and then it was gone. But like Champions League is at the moment, like almost like there are some certain expectations being set. I feel like the team responds accordingly because they're playing well because they're playing without those expectations normally. So it's
correct.
like whatever you do is a positive. The moment people say, "Oh, they should be a top 4 team, they should be challenging for this," it becomes a bit too much and that imbalance starts showing itself. That's the way I look at it from like outside. How accurate is that?
I think pretty accurate, but you have to bear in mind we have lost Cunha. I mean, we haven't used our uh, the new guys, especially, uh, up to the full potential yet. Mbemo is in a fall. He was horrible in the Palace game. He was really bad. Not quite the performance that you would expect from him. Cunha is not playing. We are still playing with Xerxes, which is, I think, a half a step better than Weghorst or something like that. So
I
I
remember when you
think
guys signed Workhorse. That was the funniest signing ever.
exactly, and from Besiktas as well. I mean, I think Weghorst was the ultimate. He was the one who was surprised the most. Probably he played for United. I mean, come on.
Which United?
But which United exactly? The apart from that, the other thing that you actually talked about in the beginning of the season still stands, and uh, despite that, we can sort of hold the midfield with the Casemiro guy and the Fernandez thing. So I think if you look at the shortcomings of the team, you are right. I mean, if it gets more difficult, then the pressure gets too much, and the performances have to be top performance to actually get over that difficulty. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think we have now a beginning of a something successful if we can feed this well and keep at it as we do until now. So I wasn't too pessimistic in the beginning of the season, and you found me very pessimistic. But I'm not optimistic again. But I think it's a um, balanced optimism that I have now, and more realistic. It seems more realistic now because we can put in performances like Crystal Palace. It wasn't a pretty sight, but
Yeah.
the team believes that they can get a result, and I think that's a huge step from last season, at
I think
least.
it helps like they have not had any embarrassing losses. I mean,
No,
in the sense that like
And the Liverpool win away.
yeah, and like not
Let
at
me
home
remind you.
losing like ours, like losing to you guys, that was an embarrassing loss. Like they haven't like the Forest loss and stuff like that, that Liverpool has had.
Yeah.
United, I mean, first of all, the bar is obviously lower. Like, Liverpool coming as a champion with all these signings and stuff, the expectation was a lot higher. So it becomes more embarrassing regardless of what who you're losing to and by how much or how and stuff like that. But I do think, yeah, it helps that they have not had like, I don't know, they haven't gone like, and lost like 4-0 or something like that, like some of those that can, because it feels still very fragile where
Yeah.
it can kind of like crumble right away. Like he's trying to make it, it's like those, like building the cards and then it can just come out like that. It feels like so, but they've been lucky enough not to have that. And that kind of like fuels the belief, but I'm definitely doing a lot. We'll take a look at the standings afterwards, but definitely doing a lot better than expected. So I'll ask you, and then I'll give you kind of like where I think we're at, but from outside, not as a United fan necessarily of what you wish will happen, but how do you see Liverpool, especially like with the changes they did or stuff they're trying to do? Obviously they get the win, but tomorrow will be huge, like I said.
Before I go there, I have to say this is an important part of the season, isn't it? A lot of games, they come thick and fast now.
Yes.
So before you realize you can be 9 points better off or losing 9 points in about a
Yep.
week or something. So it is a crucial part of the season. And the plus side for United is Cunha is in training now, so we might see him back. And I think we don't have that difficult a fixture. So from Christmas period, I think United can rise to a better position. So let me put that expectation there. As far as you're concerned, I'm obviously very very happy with your progress so far. But if you look at it, I think the thing is, I mean, how many, for example, right backs played for Liverpool this season,
Yeah.
different right backs. So I think, uh, although you have booed him and sort of, really showed your disgust in the Madrid game, I think you are still looking for the guys who brought you success and have not replaced them successfully. And plus, the last game, obviously, I think I would love to hear your take on that as well. The last piece of that, maybe last couple of pieces, Van Dijk is one, obviously, but more is left out of the first 11 now. So Slot, I think, is seeing a new thing building up, but also seeing these successful team members versus the newcomers thing is going to cost a lot of things. Well, it costs a lot
Well,
of
yeah,
money in
it's a
Isaac's case
transition.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
transition. I mean, you're
yeah,
building a different team. You're building like, Slots team. You signed a lot of these guys, and maybe some of the older pieces don't fit. I mean, the right back situation is just basically injuries. You have 3 possible right backs on this team. 2 actual right backs are injured. And because your center back, Leone, got injured and out for the season, you don't want to risk having, and he did roll that risk because I think the pressure is there. He did roll the dice and have all 3 healthy center backs on the pitch at the same time because Gomez can play right back, but I think he didn't want to risk it because if he gets hurt now, you're down to 2 center backs and all that stuff.
yeah,
But I think, the heat is there, the pressure is there, so it had to be done. It helps him. We were talking about this on Monday Night Podcast. I think it helps him right now that the games are coming thick and fast because he can kind of say, when he's asked about Mo, he can say, well, we're playing every 3 days. So more like, I mean, I anticipate that Mo will be starting tomorrow. My theory on that is, it's about pairings. I don't think you can have Mo and Isak and Gakpo out there at the same time because you need more running up top in terms of defensive. So Mo will probably play more with Ekitike, and Isak will play more with like Soboslai because he does all the running, or like with Wirtz. I mean, Wirtz was like amazing. I mean, you kind of see what you can get out of him and what a player he is. He is something. So you just got to get the most out of it. It's a transition, but it has to be done. I mean, we all know that it's kind of hard to say goodbye to some of the aging guys, but you kind of have to eventually. I'm really the guys found me very optimistic. We were kind of like broken up in terms of what to expect. I have high expectations for what we're gonna see from Mo tomorrow. I think we're gonna see like a very energetic Mo and be like to the point where people are gonna be like, did you have to get cut to play like this? That's the kind of
Mm.
Mo I'm expecting. Plus, now he will be able to get rest. I think trotting him out there every single time, because him and Van Dijk played every freaking game
Yeah.
for freaking like the last 6-7 years probably. And after a certain age, you can't do that. What you're doing with Robertson, I think you still have to do with Mo. Van Dijk is different. I think it's a center back. You can age as a center back, and you're not constantly running and all that kind of stuff. So, but I do think yes, you're building the team for the future. And I think when you have Isak and stuff, when you have Isak and Wirtz, those are your two huge building blocks, not only because of the money, but that's the vision. You sign those guys to be the future. But transition is always
Yeah.
going to be tricky because I don't think this Mo, for example, fits the 2.0 version.
No,
But
exactly. That's the problem, though, isn't it? I mean, that is the question as well. Is it supposed to be a gradual transition, or like United have done over the years, like Ferguson's time, or even Matt Busby's time? Well, that was an accident, obviously, but to reset everything, forget about what brought you there, and get rid of everything that resembles the past, and say we are together now and we are building a team, to avoid that clash between the we won everything, and the other ones who came in, and you have to prove your 150 million sterling worth
yeah,
now thing. So I think that's where Slot is making the mistake. I think Klopp would be a better fit to do something like this. I am not seeing Klopp as a leader to actually lead this transition at all. Uh,
well,
I,
the problem is Klopp would never transition.
okay.
So Klopp is not a good fit for that.
No, I mean,
Klopp
no,
is
no.
a good
He
fit
wouldn't. He
if he
wouldn't
walked in
bring the.
now. But
Yeah.
Klopp is not a good fit for transition because he's way. If Klopp had one weakness, it was hanging on to people too long because he's too loyal to the players.
Aha.
They would
Okay.
they
So
would
he
play out
wouldn't.
their
He wouldn't
contract.
be.
They would still
Hmm.
everybody would still be here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Bobby would be like still here. Genie would still be like if it was up to Klopp, everybody would stay because I think he wanted to keep what he built and did not want a lot of change. You would never have the spending spree. Anybody's like, oh, why didn't they spend this money when Klopp was here? I don't think Klopp would ever want a spending spree like that and like so many new because that's not his way. So I don't if he was coming in fresh, yes, but going from one to the other, I don't think he's as ruthless as
Is Slot?
yes, I think because he's more Dutch, if you will, and I think his
Okay.
style is a bit more colder. Because transition for him is probably easier. But he's another thing; he's not that tied to the other guys. Like he won the title with him, he managed into a title, but he's not as tied to a guys. Whereas Klopp coming in and kind of like dumping the back four or whatever is a lot more difficult when you coach those because they become the whole family thing. I mean, that's the strength, right? Building that. Well, you can't just build that, make that your strength and then next day kick all the kids out the door and like bring in adopt new kids. So I don't
Yeah.
think in that sense if he came into something new and building it, Klopp is the guy, but I don't think transition is ever his strength.
Well, it seems to me, first of all, this clash. The second is the newcomers, especially Isaac. But he's had an injury as well, didn't he? To
Well,
be
he
honest.
had the injury. I mean, obviously he didn't have a summer, so
No, exactly. So, I mean, what would you expect him to bring to the team that people actually expect him to bring with the 150 million thing? Because
I
I'm
think
reading
you
things. I think people are already discontented with the
no,
guy.
no, no, not Liverpool fans. I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
okay.
If there's any discontent for Isak's performance, it's probably goes to people won't put it on Isak yet. People will put it more on Slot in not being able to use Isak kind of a deal. So I
All
don't
right.
think Isak is getting, but I mean, what you got this weekend is why you paid Isak
Yeah.
to do that
Cool.
finish. That's that is not an easy finish at all. That's
No.
like a scorer's finish. And that he is more, I think the transition, we were talking about this on Monday night as well. The transition is you have a number 9 now that we have not had in well over a decade, like an actual 9 that plays like a 9, because you had Bobby and you tried, you had like Jota and stuff like that. So I think it's just a matter of like adjusting to the style. But what you got this weekend is exactly what you paid for. I mean, we always mocked as Liverpool fans. Gally was talking about on Monday night, like how many touches did Haaland have? Because he can disappear in games, right? Like not do anything.
Yeah.
So you look at, the last weekend, Isak did not do a whole lot, but doesn't matter.
No.
He's there. He scores the
He's
goal,
not
and that's
going
what you
to,
need
is
from
he?
that guy.
Yeah.
That's
He's
why you're
going to
getting
be
big bucks
finishing.
kind of a deal. So I think, but it's an adjustment because not used to that. When you don't see him in the play, we're like, what is he doing? He's not doing anything. But then he just pops up and scores. And that's more of a traditional 9 as opposed to a false 9 that we got used to with Bobby and like Diogo dropping back.
Maybe you think you found another Ian Rush.
Yes, like probably is that the last one? Probably. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, Andy Carroll. But it's just like you haven't had like a like Banter and stuff. Like you signed those guys in the past, but I mean, Klopp didn't play like that anyway, and maybe that's not what he wanted. Or when you had Bobby, who's a unicorn, you made the most out of it and you used him for what it is. But I think people, as we adjust the system and as you start feeding the number 9, we're gonna get it. And the key is, I mean, we always talk about this 4-4-2, the post Mo era. AFCON, therefore, is a huge tell in terms of what you're saying, like the life after Mo. And at any given time, you can look to the Saudis and be like, how much? And the more importantly, I want to see how Mo is going to react, because he has a big ego and he really like takes pride in what he does. Is he going to come out and play like a madman against Sunderland tomorrow? Or is he going to pout and want to go somewhere else because he's not starting every game and stuff? So it'll be interesting to see how he reacts.
That is a difficult game as well, isn't it? I mean,
it is Sunderland. I mean, I think we, early on we were like, oh, they'll probably like 3 up, 3 down and stuff. Everybody was saying, but they have played well. They are dangerous, and everybody has struggled with them, including Arsenal and stuff. So that will be a tricky match. So, like you said, within 2-3 weeks, a lot can change over there. I mean, even like when we come here next week to record Rival Bros, both our teams will have played 2 matches. So a lot can change from even like what we're talking about now. We might be saying something totally opposite because we don't know which way things are going to go.
Especially in this period, things will be happening very fast. And with this 3 points for a win, we could see United in the top 4.
Well, let's take a look at that then and see where we see who.
Wow, that is nice. That is very nice. Wow,
production value is talking millions here. Okay,
I'm very impressed. Okay,
and then we come to a screen share from Google from that.
Is that a 5-4 that I'm
that
reading?
Is live scoreboard? Yes, it is 5-4 at the moment, and Everton just won. That game is now over. Actually, it's going to probably refresh any second. Grealish scored in the 78th, so that's a huge win for them. And Fulham, I mean, it was 5-2 when we won on air, and it has become 5-4. 2 minutes left. They're in the 96 minutes over there. So that was quite the comeback over there that Fulham put together, but we'll see how that ends. But these are the standings as we see it. We kind of talked about where our boys are. I'll ask you these 2 questions real quick, and obviously we'll delve into a lot more next week as well. But title race, who's in it? Who's out? Who's out for sure, and who's in it?
I think you are out for sure.
9 points. You think they're out for sure in December?
Yeah, I think so. The way Arsenal is going, and the momentum they had, I've seen them in the Munich game, Bayern game. They really are playing a different. They're playing with a different confidence, and the set pieces and everything. They can master a goal from somewhere. Even City I'm not seeing Chelsea as a contender either, to be honest. It's Arsenal or City, unfortunately, this year. The two ugly teams of the Premier League. I think all the rest are out. I don't see anybody else, including you, uh, keeping up with this tempo.
I don't see us either, but honestly, I mean, I hate to say it, I would rather have City win than Arsenal win. Anybody but Arteta at this point. But we said the same thing about Arsenal last season,
Yeah.
around this time, where they were getting all the set piece goals and stuff like that. When that dried up, that's when Liverpool like just started like gaining 2 points, 3 points at a time. And
Yeah.
it kind of like the dynamic changed. And one thing we know about them is, the fact that now City is in the rearview mirror. Like today's results, Arsenal does not have that. They have not won it yet, so that pressure is always there.
Yes.
And especially the experience of losing it is there. So when you look in the rearview mirror and you see, Pep like barging closer and closer, it's going to be interesting to see how it affects them this month.
Well, actually, they play tomorrow with Brentford,
Yes.
don't they?
Yeah.
So this month, as you say, this 10 days will show. But if you go back to the table, I think the most tell is the amount of goals they concede.
Correct.
They have only conceded 7 goals in 13 games. That is a very good record.
That is, but here's the thing. I had to pull it up, but like that was a thing they had last year as well. They did not concede. Their issue last year was they could not score.
Yeah,
so they
but
had
they
a
can
lot of
score
those
as
zero
well, don't they?
zeros, like 1-1s and stuff like that. And because the set piece goals dried up, it's going to be interesting. I think they have a better team than they did last year.
Yes,
The key is maybe I'm trying to talk myself into them folding under the pressure with like City on their neck over there. But yeah, in terms of us, I mean, we were talking about it. It's kind of like stupid to talk title race yet, but we've been talking about it for the last 20 minutes here. The games are coming thick and fast. So within 3 weeks, that screen can change very drastically over that. And if you go into January only 5 points behind instead of 9, then you're like, maybe. And I think for United, I mean, you guys play Wolves twice within a month, which I don't know who the hell set that up for you there. But like Liverpool's schedule on paper is favorable as well. So if they get it like a mini win streak, I don't know. Like I say, it's way too early to talk about it. If you ask me now, I'd be like, yeah, we're probably not in it. But I think, we'll have a clearer picture once we get to end of the month over here. But speaking of clearer pictures, the bottom of the table right there. Who's leaving with Wolves?
With Wolves, well, Wolves have already left. I think. My 3 was West Ham, Leeds, and Burnley, wasn't it? Wolves was a surprise. We haven't expected that. We were too much trusting to our old friend Vitor, who failed us miserably. So one of them is already gone. I think Leeds is leaving, definitely. I'm still going with West Ham as well. I think Burnley will be scraping through as usual.
I say Burnley. But Forest is over there like peeking into, but I do think Nuno will kind of like get them the points they need and will be able to manage that squad to like, scrape up some points.
Yeah.
And then, it goes back to you look at them, they all have the same struggle. Normally you can look at these standings and be like, well, at least so-and-so scores goals, but they're all like in 13, 15 goals over there. So they all have the same drought. I feel like West Ham has more talent to kind of like get something out of it. You have like Bowen, you have Paqueta when he's not fighting the ref and like asking for a red card and stuff like that. But that's why I'm thinking like Leeds and Burnley myself right now. But it's going to be interesting. So this is December 2nd today. When we come to the end of this month, post-Christmas, where we're at is going to be interesting to see, because I don't know if any of these guys. I mean, they do have a lot. I mean, when I say, hey, the schedule is favorable, that's because we're playing some of these guys. So are they going to be able to scrape something up, or are they going to be the same way?
Yeah, I mean they're all serious games. And the other thing, I'm sure you have talked about. I think Liverpool is the only team in the Premier League who didn't get a draw yet, isn't it?
I believe so. Wait, really?
Yeah, you either lose or win. You had a lot of
Yeah,
last minute goals, and you had a lot of
one way or
last
the
minute.
other. Yes.
Yeah, the other way around. So yeah, I'm not sure. This streak will have some draws in it, I think, because these guys will be fighting for life.
Yeah.
Because if you're in there with Christmas time, isn't there a statistic like that? If you are there, it's like 80% you will be going at the end of the season
Yeah.
as well. So Christmas time is a festive season for the relegation as well.
Yeah, I mean, we play, I think, pretty much like everybody included in there for the most part, because you're playing, I know, like we're playing obviously Sunderland, then we're playing Leeds,
Yeah.
then away to Fulham. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's go back up over here. Leeds, Brighton at home, Spurs, Wolves at home, Leeds at home. So what you guys are doing with Wolves, we're doing with Leeds.
Yeah.
And then you have Fulham away, and then the big game in Arsenal. And that's why I think if you come end of the year with 5 points behind Arsenal, you play Arsenal away on January 8th, but that will be a game now you have to win, kind of a deal. But I do expect, I mean, I as optimistic as I try to be, I do expect an up and down season where sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. We can't rotate and keep the same. That's why tomorrow is a big game. When you rotate a couple of pieces, can you play the same way you did against West Ham? And was it West Ham that let us play that way, or did we play really that well when you had four midfielders actually on the pitch doing a lot more running and stuff? But I have made this prediction: this team is going really far in the Champions League.
Okay, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, Liverpool also plays two games in the Champions League within this time period. You're going away to
Only one
Inter.
actually. We only play Inter away.
Inter away. So that is another difficult game, and you haven't drawn there either. You did not have any draws, and if you look at Arsenal there, they only conceded one in 5 games there as well. So and that's the goal they conceded against Bayern, isn't it? It looks pretty watertight at the moment for Arsenal, but they managed to screw up in any case.
That's the hope. One can only hope. One can only hope. That's where we're at with it. But okay, back to the production table. Let's take a look and end with our predictions.
Wow, the transition isn't that smooth this time, but
no, but we'll work on that. We'll work on that. Getting the videos in was the first step. So next step is timing. we'll get to that. Okay, upset picks for. We figured this weekend half the games are in. The City game is over now, by the way. They did finish that one 5-4. Newcastle 0-0 with Tottenham. I actually anticipated that to be a pretty high scoring game, so that's kind of like a shocker. But and they're in the 63rd minute too. So, but okay. Let's go back to the drawing board over here. Give me your upsets pick. You know what the funny thing is? Both our teams, unfortunately, now is kind of because it's kind of like a potluck of what we're going to get. It's kind of hard to call their games an upset. But who do you have as the upsets?
For this weekend, I'm going with the Newcastle game. I think Burnley is going to get something out of that.
Ooh. Really? Okay.
Because they drew again today, didn't they? 0-0 with Tottenham. Newcastle had a very hard game as well.
They're playing right now. That's the one I was talking about. They're still the 63rd minute.
Are they still playing?
Yes, they're still playing. 63rd minutes.
Okay.
That's the one that started after the earlier games today. So So you're going with Burnley getting something
the Burnley game.
Newcastle.
Yes.
Would Villa be considered an upset, or that's that wishful thinking for me? You know what? Not to bloody the waters over here, not or muddy the waters.
I'm not sure. Is a draw an upset? You think? I think a draw would be okay with Arsenal, isn't it?
I don't know. See that you can't do that anymore. So I think like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was with City driving 100 miles an hour behind you. I don't think Arsenal is in a position where they're like, you know what, we'll
No,
take a draw away at London.
they conceded four though. City today. I mean, Arsenal would look at that and look at Sunderland, which will have two very difficult game back to back, aren't they? They're playing
They're playing us, and
you,
then they're going to City.
and then they are going to City. That is a tough fixture, isn't it? Two games
Yeah, it's
in
kind of like
three
a moment
days.
of truth for them, but I think they've stocked up enough points where they won't be devastated if
Yeah,
they're not going to, even if they lost both. Sunderland is not going to be in crisis mode after
I
losing
think.
at Anfield and Etihad.
Yeah, but they have a better chance of getting something out of City, I believe, rather than Anfield.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, I can't be sure. I wish I was that confident. I can't be that sure just because I don't know what we're going to get with the rotation. I'm hopeful, optimistic, but that's where I am right now. Like I said, I think with both our
You're,
teams, we don't know which one
yeah,
is going
you're,
to
you're
show up.
you're usually are not that this optimistic, so I think Liverpool makes you like this. I would be more afraid of the Leeds game because I think that you will have a rotation there, won't you?
Well, it will go back to I think what we're having, and I guess Bradley is back at practice, so we might have our rights
Right.
back for the Leeds game. He might be ready to go for the weekend. So, and I think that's key. Not only because we need the right back, we need Soboslai in midfield is my
Yeah,
biggest thing. So,
correct.
and now with like I say, my optimism comes that as these guys, there's way too much quality there. So it's just a matter of putting it together, and you see at times it's there. I mean, the
Yeah,
way Veers play this weekend, you're like, if you can get this, if you can get this guy on the ball in proper spaces, things are going to happen. And honestly, the lack of finishing has been the issue. If we can finish our chances, one of these games, they're just gonna take it out on somebody, and it's gonna be like 6-7. I'm just waiting on that one, but I will go
mm,
with Villa. I was tempted to go Brentford at Tottenham. I don't even know if that's an upset anymore. So, with the way like Tottenham can be, then is that like a Premier League thing, by the way, that for the most parts, I mean, I guess that's kind of like the appeal of the league, but for
yeah.
the most parts, you don't know who's gonna do what in any given weekend.
Well, you would love to see that, but as you say, recently we had with you guys, for example, Liverpool would win, or now
Yeah,
Arsenal would win and City would win. In the good old days, I think that was true for many seasons. To be honest,
true. Yeah,
apart from some special seasons where United had a very strong team or you guys had a very strong team. Blackburn, when we were back in the UK, they had Shearer, and that
yeah,
was Sutton and Shearer, and they had a very good team. Newcastle had a very good team again with
yeah.
Gascoigne and stuff. So apart from those seasons when a team would sort of outshine the others, now we have a more consistent rich teams plus the guys who are mediocre. Because if you look
Not
at the
as
table
rich.
again,
But I
yeah,
think the difference is they're not as rich. They're still rich. So they still
that's
have
the
a
right.
guy,
Yeah.
like everybody on their team still plays for a national team of some sort.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah,
But it might be the backup of the other guy or something like that. But they're all like, I think like everybody has some kind of quality to hurt you, which makes the league, I think, what it is. And I think, like these guys, I know you go into certain games and you don't know what you're going to get in terms of like a result, mainly because, yeah, nobody is that dominant. One thing we will see this month, though, is a lot of these teams that we mentioned are not used to playing 3 games a week,
yeah.
whereas the big boys are because they're playing Europe all the time. So it's going
Yes.
to be interesting how when they rotate, that's when the rich might shine more, like a month like this and next month. When they rotate, they're not going to have the same depth that City has, Arsenal has, and Liverpool
So
has.
probably they will pick games, won't they? I mean, they will
You would
either,
expect, right?
yeah, leave the Liverpool game. We're not going to be fighting them, but go with the Leeds game,
I
which
hate
is
to
a
say
fixed
it though.
point.
Like, wouldn't Sunderland be like, dude, City will forget the City game. You can't get something out of Liverpool. If you're gonna get anything out of Anfield, it's right now. That's probably the fear that like every team will approach the Liverpool game like that. It could be we could be hustling them into it, thinking they're gonna get something out of it, and you can
Yeah,
really like beat them up
yeah, it could
too.
work
But
both
I don't
ways.
think
Yeah.
anybody is that naive though. It's just a matter of they will still be disciplined. But let's hope when we come here next week, we're talking about some Liverpool wins and ideally some United losses. So either way,
Wow, wow, wow. I think this is the season that, especially with Wolves and the other fixtures, this is the season where the stupid guy will have his goddamn haircut. I think we can build this up to
he has to be looking at
that.
that schedule and saying this could be it because like his
Yeah.
fame is gonna be over. Because I think the Wolves. So if you would have to start with the Wolves game or something.
No, we have started with the Palace game, didn't we?
Oh, okay. So now you have West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth at home, Villa away.
Yeah, Villa away, I don't know.
And then but then in between the two Wolves games, you have Bournemouth, Villa away, and Newcastle at home.
Yeah, I
That
don't
here
know.
is pretty safe. I mean,
Yeah.
I can even, I might start that, but depends on where I can grow it. But yes,
Very
maybe
good.
I'll do the hockey player thing and just grow the beards
Yeah,
until we win five
that's
or
the thing.
something like
Yeah.
that. So the hockey playoff thing. But that's it for us this week. Do tune in again next week. I will make sure he doesn't run away regardless of the results and record it, and we'll be live so he can't blame me. But have a great week, everybody. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.